Roy F. Baumeister, Is There Anything Good About Men? How Cultures Flourish by Exploiting Men. Embark on a thought-provoking journey with Roy F. Baumeister's Is There Anything Good About Men? How Cultures Flourish by Exploiting Men, which explores the intricate roles men and women play in society. Delve into the concept of trade-offs between the sexes and discover how diverse abilities contribute to flourishing cultures. This summary offers insights on the roles both genders play and how they can appreciate each other's contributions, rather than focus on one-upmanship. You'll gain fascinating perspectives on gender differences, motivation, and the effects of societal expectations on men and women alike.
Breaking Down Gender Inequity. The book challenges the common belief that women outperform men and offers an alternative explanation to gender inequity. It presents three explanations for the inequality debate and highlights the importance of valuing each gender's unique contributions. The author emphasizes that successful cultures make use of gender differences to thrive. Additionally, it debunks the myth that the gender pay gap is solely based on bias, as social science finds several reasons for the gap. Men work longer hours, take more risks, and sacrifice more, all contributing to a higher wage. The book advocates for recognizing and respecting the differences between men and women in different domains, some biological and some cultural. Rather than competing with each other, men and women need to appreciate and embrace their differences to create a prosperous society. The book provides a fresh perspective on the gender inequality debate and encourages readers to question the traditional notions of gender roles and biases. Gender equality through valuable differences. Media portray women as superior, and society today favors the idea of women being better than men, as reflected in survey results. The historical belief that men perform better is now reversed by the feminist movement. However, neither sex outperforms the other in all aspects. The flourishing cultures determine the roles based on individual attributes of men and women, leading to gender equality. The character trait such as a quiet, nurturing temperament soothes babies but thwarts battlefield victory, while a boisterous, threatening nature is ideal for combat but not for nurturing. Such gender differences connect skills and deficiencies to form a basis for gender equality. Patriarchy, the idea of a male-dominated culture, is the preferred explanation when women don't perform as well as men. The book explains how valuable gender differences help achieve equality and breaks the stereotype that women are superior. The motivation and gender pay gap. The difference in ability and effort defines performance in any field. Men and women's ability is nearly the same, but their motivational differences can be significant. The presence of fewer women in top science jobs does not depend on their capabilities to do the job. Studies show that men work harder, longer hours than women, and are more motivated to reach the top, contributing to the gender pay gap. Other factors like job selection based on income, negotiations for higher pay, and men accepting riskier jobs also widen the gap. Men and women are useful in various ways to culture, leading to the exploitation of genders differently. Women can break the glass ceiling but may choose not to do so, the study highlights. The biological basis of gender differences. The book explores the DNA studies that indicate that women have a higher probability of passing on their genes than men, and how this has influenced gender differences. The book delves into the biological differences between men and women and how these differences originate from nature. The author explains that just like in the animal kingdom, where only the alpha male breeds with the females, human DNA studies show that women have a higher probability of passing on their genes repeatedly than men. Women, therefore, didn't need to take risks or deviate from the norm to reproduce. They just needed to attract good partners. Men, on the other hand, had to compete with each other if they wanted to pass on their genes, which resulted in high-risk-taking behaviors. The author highlights that these biological differences are a fundamental basis for understanding gender differences in society. For instance, women who are good at math usually prefer non-science fields, while men excel in science fields, which require risk-taking behavior. The book provides insight into why gender roles have evolved from the biological makeup of males and females. As such, the book aims to help people understand and appreciate the differences between the genders and, in turn, create a more harmonious society. Gender differences in social styles. Research suggests that men and women possess different social styles, and their communication abilities enable them to forge stronger bonds in specific contexts. Male social connections in large groups are weaker than female intimate relationships that do not involve many people. Women's communication ability means that they excel in establishing close bonds, whereas men create more numerous networks. According to studies, the social style of women leads to strong families and marriages, whereas the social style of men leads to strong groups and societies. Gender-specific personality differences also arise depending on the type of relationships. Women tend to create close and intimate relationships, while men form more extensive associations. Although women are more aggressive in intimate relationships, they are less likely to hurt strangers, whereas men are inclined to harm both acquaintances and strangers. Cultural orientations and empathetic abilities are the core contributors to gender differences in social styles. The origin of culture and the role of men and women. Culture is a system organized by human beings for the progress of societies, where men excel in creating large groups, which contribute to the creation of culture. Women, on the other hand, provided nurturing and created smaller, cooperative groups, which generated more pleasant but less progressive units. Men created culture systems for wealth and power, including art, religion, government, economics, business, and technology. Women's contributions were essential to society, but men dictated culture's values, which favored men's own work. While women are equally capable of creating culture, men's desire to make a mark in a large social system has enabled them to take the lead. This helps explain why women, particularly modern feminists, find society unwelcoming as men invented culture for men. Male culture and its exploits. The male culture rewards winners and puts losers at a disadvantage. Men's lives are less valued compared to women's. The reason being, society requires women to reproduce, while men can contribute even in small numbers. Men are the ones who are expected to risk their lives in work and war to preserve the culture. The men who strive and achieve are given the rewards, but they are also expected to produce more than they consume. Women, on the other hand, are judged based on their looks and their status is largely ascribed. Marriage is seen as a way of transferring money from men to women, which contributes to the society. Men must constantly prove their worth by their achievements, and society judges them based on that. Women, on the other hand, are judged by their biological and practical skills, something society considers not as important as men's achievements but they could feel pressure to acquire. The complex role of men in modern society. The presence of men in society brings about both unique inventions and burdens. Men have been responsible for a majority of new inventions and wealth creation, but also suffer from a higher mortality rate on the job. While gender roles are changing, men still face a societal expectation to prove their worth through work, leaving little room for a balanced lifestyle. Modern women now have more career freedom, but men are still expected to transfer wealth to women for the care of future generations. The role of men in society is complex and constantly evolving. A baby boy born today will face a culture that may send him to war, with policies in school and business that generally favor women. Society makes men feel guilty for wealth creation, creating a confusing and difficult reality that men must navigate for the survival of the culture.
In conclusion, Baumeister's book underscores the importance of understanding and appreciating the unique roles of both men and women in society, which ultimately contribute to cultural flourishing. He emphasizes that diverse abilities and trade-offs between the sexes are natural and advantageous. It is crucial to recognize that the strengths of both genders serve the culture and can lead to gender equality in various domains. Furthermore, he posits that culture originates from men due to their excellence in large group organization. By comprehending these topics, we can move towards a more harmonious and equitable future.